From recruiting and consulting firm Riderflex, I'm your host, Steve Urban, and here is your Riderflex podcast episode of the day. On today's episode of the Riderflex podcast, startup isn't riskier than a Fortune 500. I always think it's funny when I talk to somebody that thinks they're safe because they have a regular job, a position with a larger company. There's this sense of security with most people that if they work for a Fortune 500 company, they're safer than somebody that works for a startup or smaller company. No, you're not. Remember, Riderflex is a recruiting firm. We interview people for a living. Most people I talk to that are unemployed usually just got laid off from a larger company. Just the other day, I had a guy call me. He had just gotten laid off from a large software company. In the conversation, he says, yeah, look, I'm only looking to work for a larger company. Small companies and startups are just too risky. Keep in mind, he had just gotten laid off from a large company. What's my point of this episode? I think to a large degree, people at startups and smaller companies have a better chance to control their own destiny. In many cases, it's personally up to them whether or not the company makes it and whether their job is secure. In larger companies, you're never in control of possible mass layoffs. Now, I'm sure if someone challenges me on this and runs a bunch of stats, they'll be able to prove that startup is riskier. I didn't run a bunch of reports myself. I don't have any stats to give you here to back up my claim. But I can tell you this, I interview people every single day, and the ones that are unemployed usually got laid off from a larger company. So please stop thinking that just because you have a regular job that you're safe. If you've been thinking about doing a startup yourself or joining a small company team, do it. Go for it. I encourage you to. It'll likely be the most exciting job you've ever had. If you think today's tip or guest interview can help someone you know, please share this with them. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. The Riderflex podcast features entrepreneurs, business executives, and the stories behind how they got there, as well as daily tips on career advice and job interviewing. You can visit riderflex.com to learn more about us and get information and pricing on the recruiting and consulting services we provide. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day.